Gojo will lose his fight against Sukuna, and it's inevitable. I asked you guys on my community tab who you think will win between Gojo and Sukuna, and I was not surprised to see that most of you believe that Gojo is taking this W home. Now, this does not mean that I'm defending Sukuna, because Sukuna does have a lot of techniques from other users, Megumi pretty much, and he relies on help of many other sorcerers, which I will get into later in this video. But I feel many Jujutsu Kaisen viewers are not looking at this fight objectively and seeing the various possibilities that can come about in this fight. This isn't an ability comparison video, but let's be real here, right? Gojo was practically born with godlike potential. Even when we look past the fact that he has immense strength, immense speed and reflexes, immense endurance, and just great tactical intellect. And on top of all of that, my guy Gojo has actual immeasurable cursed energy, being able to activate his domain as many times as he wants pretty much, and in a split second he's able to activate unlimited void, and he is able to use reverse curse technique. And if that wasn't enough, this guy is genius and capable of combining positive and negative curse energy, which shouldn't even be possible, honestly. And if that wasn't enough, this guy has been blessed with both the 6 eyes and the Gojo family's limitless curse technique, something that has not occurred in 400 years, bro. Now then the question pops up in your head, if this guy is unstoppable, then what is the purpose of even having him in this story revolved around the evolution of Yuji, and who can possibly be him? Well, the answer to that question is less complex than you think, and Sukuna is the fated destroyer of Gojo. Anyways, let's take a deeper dive into why Sukuna will beat Gojo. And remember, this is all still opinion. I'm not Doctor Strange. I can't 100% see what Geihei Akutami has in store for Jujutsu Kaisen, but the theory I'm about to present is likely the outcome. Sukuna is going to beat Gojo, and if you are up to date with the manga, I'm not talking about Mahoraga giving him the edge in battle against Gojo, and I'm not going to compare Gojo's and Sukuna's skills or domain. I'm also not going to mention the popular theory that Kenjaku or Haruame will assist him during this fight, or them creating an elaborate plot with Sukuna to beat Gojo either. The reason Sukuna will win is because of narrative. The simple fact that if Gojo wins this fight, the narrative of Jujutsu Kaisen will have less exciting options. Now let's take a step back and look at one of the most realistic theories I've come across, which is from this Reddit user whose name I cannot pronounce. Due to Toji pretty much being the only person that took a real W against Gojo, despite losing later after Gojo found out that reverse curse technique was a thing and he was able to fuse positive energy and his affinity, it makes sense that cursed objects / weapons will be what will take Gojo down. It will take someone who is on par with Gojo's physical abilities and battle intellect, as well as Toji's tools and knowledge of Gojo's technique. There's no way Sukuna is walking into this fight without something that can counteract Gojo's strongest technique. Sukuna came into this fight fully knowing Gojo's ability, so it only makes sense that he took extra precautions. And as we know, Yorozu gave Sukuna a cursed object that was hidden from us. This small detail may be the reason Gojo will lose to Sukuna. This theory further goes on to say that the object given to Sukuna was a duplicate of the inverted spear of heaven. Now, if you don't know what this weapon is capable of, the inverted spear of heaven was held by none other than Toji Fushiguro. He kept it inside his inventory cursed with the rest of his cursed tools, and he used it during his first battle with Satoru Gojo by getting in close and stabbing Gojo in his throat. While it completely negated the infinity ability of Limitless, he then slashed Gojo's body into ribbons with the cursed tool and a smaller knife. All this to say that the inverted spear of heaven is pretty much Gojo's kryptonite. Now, this theory even to me is a bit of a stretch, as we don't know how the duplication process of this object was possible, but I'm sure there are a couple theories around that, which can be a different whole video. One thing for sure that I completely agree with 100% is that the cursed weapon or object handed to Sukuna will have something to do with Satoru Gojo's downfall. Pair this with having, sorry if I butchered his name, but pair this with having Mahoraga as a countermeasure and having Kenjaku as a last resort, the narrative seems to be building up to either a sort of stalemate or the elimination of Gojo's consciousness or body. Gojo has already won. You're probably now scratching your head wondering what I'm possibly talking about, because that statement pretty much contradicts this entire video. But no, in fact, Gojo has already won. I was talking to one of my friends earlier about who we think would win, Gojo or Sukuna, and he said something that was very true. As we know, Gojo is a cocky character, but he obviously has a lot to back that up. In terms of battle for ego, Gojo has already won the second Sukuna used Mahoraga as a countermeasure. This proved that Sukuna needs extra help to defeat Gojo, whether it's an ability from a stolen body or a cursed tool. So in terms of raw ability, Gojo has already won. But let's not forget the character of Sukuna. Sukuna does not care about any of that, as his goal is to pretty much live as freely as he wants. Nanami stated that Sukuna lives by his own whims and desires. Sukuna's whole goal is to pretty much take over a strong sorcerer's body and resurrect himself, which leads into my final point, and one that you guys should all consider. Sukuna will acquire Satoru Gojo's body. Now this is my own theory and it is a bit of a reach, but it will grant Sukuna his goal. It will give him the greatest sense of freedom, because let's be honest, just beating Gojo isn't quite a possibility. You would have to trap him in a sort of way, just as they did with the box. And Sukuna will probably be able to take control of Gojo through this method. And this may be what the cursed object Yorozu gave to Sukuna will be used for, a tool to trap Gojo. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this theory does have a lot of holes in it, so I'm still 50-50 on it. However, this does give the narrative of Jujutsu Kaisen an interesting turn. Rather than Gojo being the cleaner-upper of all his students' mistakes, Sukuna will beat Gojo. And the direction of this story will be exhilarating to read and watch, and I hope you guys will enjoy it as well. Anyways, yeah, Satoru Gojo will lose this fight, I believe, and although he is my second favorite character, right behind Nanami, rest in peace Nanami, the narrative of this show wouldn't be as entertaining if Gojo simply knocks out all the strong characters by himself. There are many ways Sukuna can win, but the one that I lean to the most is the use of a cursed tool. The aftermath, however, is a bit tricky and puts me in a pickle, you know? It's a tough one to think about, because if Sukuna somehow acquires Gojo's body, then who will possibly stop that type of force? I mean, I don't even want to think about it. But that's about it, guys. I also want to throw in there that we hit 1,000 subscribers, which is absolutely insane. I made this channel just to share my opinion on things, manga or science related, and honestly I appreciate the fact that people enjoy my content. Also, I found out that only 5% of you guys are actually subscribed, so go and fix that for me if you're a fan of Jujutsu Kaisen, you know? But thanks for listening. See you later.